Hello, and welcome to another edition of Chomp and Chat. I'm Holly Chanchoso, and joining me again is our wonderful Troy Albright, owner and operator of True Garden. Hi, Troy.
Hello, Holly. It's a beautiful day out here in Arizona.
It's hot here where I am. So today I thought we could talk about, as the heat of the summer is coming to an end, hopefully, and fall will be right around the corner. Labor Day is always kind of a signal that fall is coming. And I thought we should talk about fall planting and how you can extend your gardens. But before I get into that, we did have on our post, Ask Your Questions, we did have a live question from Dorianne, and she wants to know, why does green algae grow on the tower? Troy?
Well, algae always loves, sun, water, and nutrients. So if we run our nutrients too high, then we're going to get a lot more algae. So some grow mediums, like the rock wool, doesn't have anything that's really inhibiting algae growth. So we see a lot more algae on rock wool. Doesn't hurt us. It's just, that unpleasant color, and then it can build up, and next thing you know, you're getting these little white flies that eat the algae, so they draw bugs in. So that's part of the reason why we went to the organic cocoa coir, because it inhibits algae, and so we get less algae than we did with the rock wool. So algae is part of life. It's part of the circle of life. So again, when you have too many nutrients, you feed the algae. When you don't have enough sun or too much water going on, you can, again, get a lot more algae. So
but it's all natural, right?
Correct.
All natural, not harmful.
Not harmful whatsoever.
Just a little ugly. Not our pretty white towers.
Yes.
All right. Well, now that Dorianne, I hope that answered your question for you. So we're going to talk about, like I said, fall planting. Fall is a great time to extend your growing season and be able to start growing, especially, well, of course, outdoors, your lettuces and your spinach that do not do well, and things like broccoli and cabbage that do love the cooler temperatures. So, Troy, let's talk about that today. Tell your farmers what they should be thinking about growing.
This is going to be a perfect time to start growing all your cruciferous vegetables, like you're talking about: cauliflower, broccoli, snap peas, beans, string beans, all your different types of tomatoes, cucumbers, squashes. So as soon as we hit Labor Day, we know it's time to start planting. It's time to really start not only getting your towers going, getting your raised beds going. And again, that's what's great about our seedlings. They can actually be used in soil as well. So we can give you a head start on all your plants. If you're behind, in getting your plants going, be it in your tower or your raised bed or whatever system you have, hydroponic system, our seedlings will work in those systems. So now's the time to get prepared for fall, and that way you'll be ahead of the game.
And a good way is, no matter where you're growing, in your tower, in your raised beds, let's clean out that summer harvest, get it all fresh and new, wash that tower down, refill your nutrient tub so that your nutrients are all fresh. And remember, when we're starting with seedlings, we want to use half strength. Get it all ready, clean, get those seedlings ordered. And now I know, like with the squash and the tomato and that kind of stuff, it's about 90 days to harvest, correct?
That is correct. Some varieties might be 75 days. Since we're growing in a vertical hydroponic system, typically we'll cut down, 10 to 14 days, just because things grow so quickly. So again, we can see a little bit faster harvest time as a result of growing vertically in our towers like we are.
So we know that stuff you got to count, that making sure you're 75 to 90 days before your first frost for those kind of freeze, right?
That is correct. You got to be prepared for that in certain parts of the country here. Arizona, we rarely have that issue. We might have a night or two, but in Tennessee and other parts on the East Coast, you got to be prepared for that. And again, we have different things to help with that.
Tell us about a few of those things about extending that growing season with the frost. Now we're not talking freeze. We're talking light frost.
Yes. So again, since the tower is on wheels, you can always pull it in under your patio cover. But if there's wind, you can still have frost. It's still blowing onto the tower. So you covering it with a light sheet, or we have the frost cloth, or pulling it into your house or into your garage. I mean, those are real simple things to do. We have a frost cloth that we use here at the farm for our outdoor towers. And again, you can leave them on during the daytime because they allow the sunlight to penetrate through. So that's what's nice. If you know you're going to be gone for the weekend and you got frost coming, you can put the frost cloth on and not have to worry about losing your crops and stuff.
Wonderful. And another thing I know with when your temperatures start to get consistently lower, like if it's hanging around that 40 to 50 degree, that it can slow your plants down. So I like using a water reservoir heater.
Correct. So we do sell those heaters. They're preset to 80 degrees, and that will extend your growing season. Anytime your water gets down to around that 40, 50 degrees temperature, you're not going to have fast growth whatsoever. So heating that water up, those heaters are very efficient. They'll bring that water temperature up. Having your tower or whatever you're growing off the ground, so it's not taking on the temperature of the ground, is important. So that's another thing we recommend, getting, growing off the ground, besides the water heater. So, but the water heater is really great. They're no longer glass, they're all plastic. So that's another advantage. So if you break it, you're not cutting yourself. So that was the problem with the original ones we had 5-10 years ago. They were made out of glass, and if you broke it, you could easily cut yourself. So we've gotten away from that one. And again, technology keeps changing. So we're excited to be able to extend our growing season using these water heaters.
Yep, because if that water's warm, those roots are warm, and the plant is happy.
Exactly. Exactly.
Now I do know that some of the plants, like broccoli and cauliflower, things like that, actually do well with some frost. It doesn't hurt them.
No, these cruciferous plants like that love the 50-degree temperature. They love getting cold. So again, those plants do very, very well when it's really cold like that as well. So they're not going to freeze on you.
Well, and I know my lettuce and my spinach in the fall with that cool, crisp autumn air is just sweeter. My snap peas, all that just has got a sweeter flavor.
Exactly. When it's hot like it is, you use up a lot more of the sugars in the plant. So yes, the cool weather brings on sweeter tasting plants. Everything has got a lot more sugar in it.
Oh, wow. So there is a scientific reason that my taste buds are happy.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, and I always notice too that in the fall, I have less pests that I have to worry about. So I'm not having to worry about the pests. I'm not having to worry about bolting, because we know here when it gets hot, that lettuce does not like it and will bolt really quickly. So it's nice, although we have some great summer crisp varieties that do much better in the heat. But some of these tender young leaves are going to be so much happier with this cooler weather.
Exactly. Different varieties of lettuce don't bolt as easy, but when you have temperatures over 100 with lots of humidity, you can see a lot more bolting going on. And again, the plant is just going to seed. It's trying to protect itself. So it's a natural part of what a plant does. Again, if you're able to bring that tower or bring your system indoors or cool it down, give it some shade, you'll get less bolting and you'll be able to grow through those hot summers as well.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I've got a deck that works perfectly, because then when that hot summer sun is at its hottest, my house is shading my tower. It is very happy. It gets just the morning sun and that's it.
Exactly. Here in Arizona, a lot of times we use mister systems because that can drop the temperature a good 25 degrees in that little area, like on our patio. Again, misters are expensive to maintain because you have to use some sort of reverse osmosis water. Otherwise, those stainless steel misters clog up and they're expensive to replace at $12 to $15 a pop. So in the greenhouse, that's what we use. We use a big misting system, commercial microfogger. It's a microfogging system, so you really don't get wet in there, but it's cooling that air a good 20 to 25 degrees.
And see, with fall right around the corner, we don't have to worry about any of that. We're not going to have as many pests. It's not going to be hot on our plants. Now's the time to plant that stuff that you've been wanting to grow, the broccoli, the cabbage, because now fall is the perfect time to do that. Get your towers filled up with some spinach and some lettuce. And if you'd like a complete list of the plants that do really well in fall, we just published a blog on our website about fall planting. And if you get the True Garden newsletter, a link to that blog is going to be in that upcoming newsletter. So Troy, do you have any closing thoughts about fall planting?
You know, it's an exciting time to grow your own food, but as you keep growing your own food, you know, as a pharmacist, I believe food can be medicine. And I've made that quote many times. You know, food is medicine, medicine is food. So the food you grow, you know what's being sprayed on it. Stay away from those harsh chemicals. Just use natural products. You will be healthier. Your kids will be healthier. Heck, your animals will be healthier. Don't waste anything. Give it to your animals, your turtles, your reptiles, whatever you've got. They will be healthier too. Grow your own food. You'll see your family's health improve, and we all win. That's what's great.
Yeah. It's funny, a quick little thing about the pets. My neighbor they moved a rabbit. And so when I'd be harvesting and stuff like that, I'd bring it over. And she came over and knocked on my door. She said, "You're going to have to just supply me." She said, "My rabbit has become a snob and won't eat the regular lettuce." She said, "It only wants the good stuff." So I started making sure I grew lettuce just for her rabbit.
Animals know. Animals can tell the quality of food. You'd be surprised. So we're excited to be a good provider for you. For all those that are wanting to buy seedlings for soil, for their hydroponic systems. Holly does all this customer service. Yep. You're doing all this customer service. We pride ourselves on trying to raise the bar. We want happy customers. We're going to do our darndest to take care of you in every aspect. So we appreciate your business.
And we appreciate doing these little videos for you. I hope you appreciate us doing these little tips, just trying to get the information out there the best that we can. We do this every other week, and it's streamed live, or you can go to the YouTube channel and watch it. It's called our Chomp and Chat, so you can be chomping on your lunch while we chat. And this concludes our episode for today. I hope everybody has a really nice rest of your week and a great Labor Day holiday. Troy, it's been a pleasure as always.